My name is Arvind Kala and I live in Delhi. I have a feeling that Kejriwal and AADMI party are going to make a stunning entry into Gujarat politics when the state goes to the polls in 4 months. I base this on a couple of things. One reason is that Kejriwal and his lieutenants are making fantastic and very effective use of social media, which the BJP is not able to. BJP, etc., they're old-fashioned. These are new guys. Kejriwal, Sisodia, Raghav Chadda, etc. And they've got the brainiest people around who know how the world has changed. Modi and Amit Shah. Modi is an old man of 71. Kejriwal, this fellow Amit Shah is 60. So they don't know how the game has changed. The game has changed from TV to social media completely. So these guys so it's like this. Kejriwal and Raghav Chadda and Sisodia, they're playing golf, and Amit Shah and this thing are still playing kabaddi or kho-kho. So they don't know what the game is. Do you know, my friends, that TV viewership has dropped all over the world, including in India? In India, the TV viewership has dropped from reached from 94 to 82% in 4 years, and it's moving down by the day as millions of smartphone users are bent over their phones and consuming news on social media. And this is where these guys are most effective. Sisodia and Kejriwal, etc., and his brainy people, and Modi, etc., are not. I can see that. Now, let's forget, old-fashioned guys like me who were born in the time of Gautam Buddha. We are the guys who, dictate, what people are thinking. We are so-called intelligentsia, etc., etc. But we don't know anything. We don't know our elbows from our asses, yeah. And these are young, every fellow, Kejriwal dominates the social media. And there are hundreds of, our chaps like us, we think of ZTV and Aaj Tak and this kind of thing. But these guys, the whole game has moved to these new channels. NBT News, Lallan Top, this, that, hundreds of them. After all, what is social media? What is a channel? How am I producing this that you can hear me in New York and you can hear me in Ghaziabad? I put a 10,000 rupee cheap Chinese phone on a table. I'm flapping my mouth and you can hear me. So it's as simple as that. So there are hundreds and hundreds of youngsters, 18-year-old girls and 19-year-old guys on a street, young people addressing young people who are all bent over their phones. You look anyway, including in villages, bus stops, aeroplanes, everything. People are not even talking to their wives' girlfriends. The girlfriend's looking at her phone and the boyfriend is looking at his phone. So that is where these guys very dominate. Another thing with these fellows is Kejriwal and Sisodia and all the Sanjay Singh, etc. They're able to communicate with people. There's a very simple truth of life. What does not touch your heart does not enter other people's hearts. But when these guys talk, they enter people's hearts. I saw Manish Sisodia lecture in Gujerat the other day about the CBI raid, and he said, I'm not scared of that because I haven't made any money. But he said, I felt bad. They were going through my wife's clothes, through my children's clothes, through my son's toys. And he said, he sounded very sorrowful. And so this kind of thing, do you think Mr. Modi or Amit Shah or any of these fellows, they touch people's hearts? No, because whatever they say doesn't come from their heart at all. Modi is a practiced speaker. He's probably spoken around 5,000 times. So words come to him naturally, but they do not resonate in the hearts of people like these guys do. So Modi is losing the social media battle, and today it's not a question of money only. You don't even have to reach villages. People can access you everywhere. Now, how does it matter whether Manish Sisodia or Kejriwal are reaching them through the phones or through TV? So these guys are winning that battle. Now, another thing which is going in Kejriwal's favor is a thing called mind space. Now, mind space is what remains in your mind. You think of Domino's, you think of pizza, you think of surf, you think of detergent, you think of Colgate, you say toothpaste, Coca-Cola means cola. So in that sense, you say honesty and clean government, and it's Kejriwal. So he's sunk into the minds of people because of his work in Delhi and his superlative work as it's unfolding in Punjab. So, news travels like wildfire. So these guys are becoming very, very strong. Meanwhile, I'm reminded of a Shakespeare saying in Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, there's a tide in the affairs of men taken at the flood leads on to fortune and omitted. It means that there is a moment when it's time to strike. Now, you can just see everywhere that Kejriwal is on an ascendant in Aam Aadmi Party, and BJP is kind of declining because it is losing more and more credibility in the people's minds. You can see that all around you. Somehow, whatever it is, and and Congress, it has been extinguishing itself for the last 8 years, and it'll keep extinguishing itself. And so Kejriwal is very, very strong, and I have a feeling that he's going to. And they're following this Punjab copybook. Addressing teachers, addressing contract workers in the government, addressing, traders, and, telling them what all they will not do, raid, raj, etc., etc. Coming with specific promises, giving commitments. And, they ring in the hearts of them because these fellows have proved that in Delhi and proved that in Gujarat. So they have a credibility and an authenticity which is missing from the BJP. And why on earth wouldn't Kejriwal do this? I mean, he's there with renewed vigor because the Kejriwal knows he's being throttled in Delhi in a million ways. So he says, the passion, it's only passion that carries through. If you do not speak with passion, the other person doesn't tunes you out, which is exactly what happens when Amit Shah, etc., speak. So please don't underestimate Kejriwal. By the way, let me add that I'm not invested in Kejriwal. I drink beer and I eat mutton, etc., I take it easy. But what the world around us is very fascinating. So I follow what goes on there. That's all. And this guy is very strong. After all, he is the only regional leader in India who is spread to 2 states. Has anybody else done it? Stalin or Akali Dal or Mamata Banerjee or Naveen Patnaik or YSR? No, nobody has been able to do it. But Kejriwal has. So he's a very, very strong contender. So people who dismiss him as some kind of a government babu who doesn't know anything, you'll stand mistaken. And well, friends, I've said my bit. If you like this video, please forward it to everybody. And if you're seeing this video on YouTube, please subscribe, and I'll be a slave for the rest of my life. And another thing, friends, if somebody says my video is bad, just feed him to the crocodiles, all right? Thank you. See you later, alligator.